They feel everything you feel. Your pain, your fear, your longing. And unlike a narcissist, they genuinely do feel it. That is what makes them so difficult to detect and so much more dangerous.
Most people understand two kinds of people in their lives. Those who feel deeply, empaths, sensitive, perceptive, often overwhelmed by others' emotions. And those who feel very little, narcissists, psychopaths, the dark triad personalities. But there is a third type that psychology has only recently begun to study: the dark empath. A person with the full emotional range of an empath and the manipulative capacity of a narcissist. Research published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences identified the dark empath as a distinct personality profile. The researchers found something deeply uncomfortable. Dark empaths scored higher on measures of psychological aggression than even narcissists and psychopaths. They are not more dangerous because they feel nothing. They are more dangerous because they feel everything.
To understand the dark empath, you first need to understand what empathy actually does. Empathy is not simply feeling sad when someone else feels sad. It is the ability to accurately model another person's internal state, their fears, their desires, their wounds. In most people, this capacity generates compassion, connection, care. In the dark empath, it generates information. They know exactly what you need. They know exactly what you fear. And they know exactly which words will make you feel both simultaneously. Psychologists describe 3 traits that combine to form the dark empath profile. First, high empathic accuracy. They read emotional states with unusual precision. Second, dark triad traits, some combination of narcissism, Machiavellianism, and subclinical psychopathy. Third, and this is the part most people miss, they are aware of the manipulation. They are not acting unconsciously. They know what they are doing. This is what separates the dark empath from someone who is simply emotionally immature or wounded. Awareness, precision, choice.
The dark empath's most powerful tool is not aggression. It is attunement. They listen differently to other people, not for what you say, but for the gap between what you say and what you mean. They notice what you flinch at, what you avoid, what lights you up before you have decided whether to show it. And then they use this information, not violently, not obviously, but with surgical precision. The dark empath rarely attacks directly. They offer exactly what you need at exactly the moment you need it most. Validation when you are doubting yourself. Warmth when you feel invisible. Understanding when everyone else has dismissed you. And once that bond is formed, they begin to use it. Subtle guilt, quiet withdrawal at strategic moments, reminding you, without ever saying it directly, that they are the only one who truly understands you. This is called covert emotional leverage, and it is almost impossible to name while you are inside it. Because every time you feel manipulated, they feel it too, and they reflect your discomfort back at you as evidence of your own instability. Not their cruelty, your sensitivity. The most confusing thing about a relationship with a dark empath is this. It does not feel bad, not consistently. Because the dark empath genuinely understands you. The connection is real. The moments of warmth are not performed. When they hold your pain, they actually hold it. This is what makes leaving feel like a betrayal of something true. You are not imagining the depth of the connection. You are right that something real exists between you. What you may not have seen yet is that this depth is also being used as a leash. Research shows that relationships with dark empaths tend to last significantly longer than relationships with narcissists, precisely because the emotional reality is richer. A narcissist eventually reveals their emptiness. The dark empath never does. There is always something real there, just enough to keep you questioning yourself instead of them.
The dark empath does not leave obvious marks, but there are patterns. First, you feel deeply understood, but somehow also slightly off balance. Like the understanding comes with a cost you cannot name. Second, your vulnerabilities are known, and occasionally, in moments of conflict, they surface in ways that feel like accidents, but are not. Third, you feel uniquely seen by them, and this feeling is used, consciously or not, to make you feel that losing them would mean losing the only person who has ever truly known you. Fourth, when you express doubt about the relationship, they reflect your doubt back at you as evidence of your own unhealed wounds. The question is never about their behavior. The question is always about your readiness to receive love. Fifth, you find yourself editing yourself around them. Not because they have asked you to, but because you know instinctively which version of yourself keeps the peace. That instinct is not love. It is conditioning. The dark empath is not a monster. Most of them do not think of themselves as manipulative. They are people who learned, at some point, that their emotional intelligence was a tool that kept them safe, that knowing what others needed was the most reliable way to maintain control in an unpredictable world. Understanding this does not excuse the harm, but it does make it legible. If any of what you heard today felt familiar, not as a description of someone else, but as a description of yourself, that recognition is worth sitting with. Awareness is not the same as cruelty, and naming a pattern in yourself is the first act of choosing differently. Velum. Every day, something new beneath the surface.